All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, yes, yes. So, um, I want to give a big shout out to Hill Blue. Hill will be either listening in now or maybe he's listening. He's actually in the middle, I think, in the middle of surgery, Andrea, this morning. So prayers going out to Hill Blue. If you got his number, maybe you can send him a message he can get when he comes out. We love Hill and Diane. Our word for this morning is anticipate. Anticipate. And it was another good one as I prepared for it. But you look at the definition of anticipate, it's regard as probable, expect or predict. But there's two different perspectives, kind of like yesterday, two different perspectives. And one is to anticipate the negative or potential challenge in order to prepare or avoid or handle an obstacle. And all I got to say about this one is if I don't anticipate a negative, I find myself being very angry. You know, if I just avoid to look at a potential obstacle and then I get in the middle of the obstacle or the challenge, maybe it's in business, maybe it's my personal life, then I'm like, I find myself not like in a not happy space. So I think it's very important that we anticipate negative or potential challenges. But the other perspective is anticipate the positive in order to manifest, in order to bring more positive and joy into your life. And where I went this morning is more on the obstacle side. So I want you to think about where you're at right now. Maybe it's your business, maybe it's your health, maybe it's your finances, maybe you want it to be all of them going into 2023. But what if we anticipate, let's call it the negative or the challenge, if you will. I like to say the challenge. I don't like negative, but it's okay. Here's what Bobby Knight, which was a very good basketball coach, said. It is better to anticipate than to react. And that's what I find myself doing. If I don't anticipate a challenge or an obstacle, I'm quick to react. And then typically when I react, because I'm unprepared, I look like an idiot. I'll just say what it is. I had to go back. I have to apologize. I have to ask for forgiveness because I didn't anticipate the obstacle. And another one comes from Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins says, remember this, anticipation is the ultimate power. Losers react. Well, I've been the loser before. Leaders anticipate. How to anticipate a challenge? I think we just got to take time to ponder, reflect, look at, plan our life and our business. December is a great month for me to look, organize, create plans going into the new year. I always read in the month of December or audio, How to Win Friends or Influence People, each and every year, over and over and over and over again. Because why? Because it's the basics. It's the fundamentals. It's the blocking and tackling, the free throws and layups of life. And I look at going in the month of December, tomorrow starts it. What if I looked and reflected on and pondered on my life, my business, and I set a plan of action? I pondered on the challenges, the obstacles. Right now, that's what I'm doing. I showed you my layout just this week of kind of my daily schedule of things that are important to me that I want to get done. So here's where I went with this. Here's an example. What about business? What if you sit right now and said, okay, we got an obstacle or a challenge coming up. It's called Christmas. We got an obstacle or a challenge coming up. It's called New Year's. So what can I do today to build excitement around, maybe it's my product offering. as a Christmas Day gift or as a New Year's Day movement. So, see, I'm starting right now to prepare, to ponder that challenge or that obstacle. Obstacles does not have to be bad, right? It's just the way it is. Or maybe it's my health. I'm on a personal health journey right now. Personal win. I'm losing weight. I'm leaning up. I'm using Renew as my kind of my cornerstone. I'm actually using 2 a day, 1 at night, 1 in the morning when I get up, and I'm having results. I'm exercising twice a day, 45 minutes each. That's been fun. Trying to drink a lot of water, but and I just share that personal journey. I got a long way to go, but you know what? I'm okay with that. But here's a challenge or obstacle for coming up. I'm going on one right now, headed to Lubbock, Texas. What can I do to keep my goals on track for my weight loss, for my leaning up process? Well, I got to prepare. I got to prepare ahead of time, right? Airports crush me. So guess what? I'm prepared going into the airport today, so I don't make bad choices. And I seems like I'm bragging on myself. I'm not. I've learned this from a lot of you, the way you do things. The other is finances. Like, have you ever had a line of credit? Have you ever had a bill that you're paying interest on? Maybe it's your credit card. It's okay. Guess what? I have many, many, many times. Okay. Line of credit that I'm going, man, I don't like paying that interest every month. But maybe it's my finances and it's a bill needing to be paid off to end the finances charges. So what if we set a plan in December to put a little, just chunk a little away, a little extra away to that, and then celebrate that win every month of 2023 that I'm inching closer to ending that interest payment. Or maybe we do a little extra work. Maybe we go out and make a few extra sales, and all that money is allocated to chunking away, to tearing away at that credit card or that line of credit or that bill that's got an interest charge to it. It's okay. Guess what? The best in the world, they borrow. They have money, they borrow. Okay. Robert Kiyosaki talks about it all the time. So if you're that person, don't beat yourself up. Create a plan to the challenge, create a solution to the issue, and know that's okay. You're working towards your goal, just like you are your health, just like you are your business. So that's kind of where I went with it this morning. Andrea, I'll turn it to you.
Well, I love it. And as usual, I went a different way. So I love that we think so differently. We get the same word and we kind of go phew, in opposite directions. So that makes it kind of fun. So I'm going to talk about the power of anticipating the positive. So if you think about just some times in your life when you had something positive in the future, like I picture the night before taking my kids to Disneyland. Now, I typically was the mom that didn't tell my kids because I knew they would be up all night. So maybe I took some joy from them. But as a mom, I loved it. I would barely sleep because I was so excited. I knew they were going to have a great time, and I'm packing, I'm preparing, and get up in the morning and it would be like, oh, goody, oh, goody. Or if you think about the last time you planned a big vacation and or maybe it was a little vacation, I don't know, but you planned all the little steps. Like maybe you're like, first of all, you're kind of looking at a map, thinking of the calendar, what time of year, maybe I really want to go see some snow in November. So I'm going to visit some of my friends all over the place. And maybe I'm picturing Gatlinburg. So then I'm like, ooh, that sounds really fun. And I have a little daydream about the coffee in front of the fire. And then I start looking at hotel rooms and I'm like, ooh, this looks pretty. This looks pretty. This looks pretty. And then I think about, ooh, what are we going to do for fun? And then I start thinking about, right. And you kind of build up all the different pieces of this vacation and you're anticipating all the fun you're going to have, all the relaxation you're going to have. Like, what a great time this trip is going to be. And, where you're going to eat. And the quote that I found was, the act of planning things to look forward to is a powerful tool to create the future that you want. And they call this vacation anticipation, where there was this study done, we study everything these days, but there was a study done that the biggest boost in a person's happiness occurs about 8 weeks before their vacation, like in the 8 weeks leading up to their vacation, because they're anticipating. And guess what's crazy? Whether they go on the vacation or they come back from the vacation. So say it gets canceled and they don't get to go, or they actually went on the vacation, their happiness levels are going to be about equal, because really the big rush was in the anticipation. So, and the vacation time didn't matter. All of that didn't matter, but who cares? Like, why am I talking about this? Well, we can use this to work for us. So knowing that as people, we like to anticipate things, we can use this to create the future we want. And how? By turning on that law of attraction. So, what is that? It's the appreciation and celebration for what we already have. And then, can you hear me okay? Okay. And then it's visualizing in a positive way where you're going. So kind of what Coach was talking about, he's got his day laid out. He knows exactly what he's going to do. And if we use that for ourselves to lay out our day with the positive things that we want in it, we're going to attract that into our life. And one of the books that I would highly recommend, so I don't know if you guys have heard of her, but there is a woman named Gabby Bernstein, and I might be saying it wrong, but Bernstein. Gabby Bernstein is how I say it. And she's a speaker and she's an author. And I've been to a couple of her seminars that she's done back years ago. And she has a book called Super Attractor. And she talks about that everything in our life is lined up to give us everything we need if we walk through our life with the right mindset. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to fall from the sky, right? We're going to magically get it. We've got to anticipate and we've got to take the actions to get there. But by having that positive, looking forward, positive anticipation, we can create more for our future. So this was always a fun one. I just love that we came at it in opposite ways, and we do have Diane on here. So Diane, we're praying for you and that hubby of yours, and we're glad that you were able to jump on this morning.
Andrew, a great lesson this morning, guys. We love you. We appreciate you. Happy hump day. Excuse me. Happy Wednesday. Let's go out and rock the world. See you guys. See you back on
Thank
Thursday.
you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love y'all.
Thank
Praying for
you.
you, Diane.